The podcast, show, web series, YouTube channel. I don't even know who I am. Starring Brendan Bowers, made by Brendan Bowers, shot by Brendan Bowers. It's you read the title. So it's been an interesting week. Might be a little bit clickbaity, to be honest. Also, I've got my coffee. I'm on my way to work. This coffee's really good today. I've had a weird week. Let's break it down. There's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're on Thursday. Wednesday was good, so I'm not even gonna cover Wednesday. Let's start Sunday. No, Sunday was also pretty good. No. Yeah, Sunday was fine. Let's just start Monday. Monday is kind of when everything started happening. Also, I got some drone music going on today. It's playing from my phone, which is recording. So just a little bit of ambience there. Kind of like it. I was just listening to it this morning, and I didn't really want to turn it off to record, so it's helping me be peaceful. So Monday. Monday, I went out to lunch with my roommate, and he's like my best friend. So it's always good to be, actually spend some quality time with him. But yeah, I had a good time with him. We were out for a long time, and we had a good few conversations. He's also doing some work, and he's working in film, but in a different way. I'm an editor. I'm kind of just doing whatever. I'm kind of taking gigs and stuff, and not really working on film. I'm working on video more so right now. It's not the most fulfilling thing ever. But he's working on film for the most part. But comes and goes, Yeah. But how do I say this? Because I'm not trying to blame him for anything, but we had this conversation and we were both agreeing with what we were saying. And we were on the same page about it, but we were kind of saying not everyone is really built to be in the film industry, because it takes a lot of hard work and dedication and grinding to get to a place that you're stable with it. And I don't know. We're talking about where passions lie. And I don't know. He was some people just aren't built for it. Some people aren't ready to do that and commit all the time and effort that it takes to be in this industry. And I was sitting there agreeing with what he was saying, only to later that day be reflecting on what my last video was about, my film and how I finished it, along with everything that I've been working on for the last couple months, probably about the last 2 months. And honestly, I was looking at all of these things on my walk, or just for the rest of my day that day, after a lunch. Excuse me for the yawns. Sorry. I was kind of looking at, I was observing what I was doing with my life. And I kind of like came to this realization. I was like, okay, I'm unfulfilled with the things that I'm working on. In my freelance work, especially. Like, all I'm really making right now is wedding videos and these like corporate videos, and I'm just an editor that knows how to use a program. And I just chop it up, and I'm like, send it over, and then it's good, and then it's done. Like, it's not creative, it's not fulfilling, it's not something that I'm passionate about. So I started off there. I was like, I'm unfulfilled and uninspired by everything that I'm working towards. I kind of was like, like, is this it? Like, am I gonna just be editing videos like this, and this is just gonna be my life for the rest of my life? Like, this sounds horrible. Sounds kind of awful to me. Like, I kind of really got into this because I wanted to do something creative, and I wanted to like make stuff myself for the rest of my life, not like just make stuff for other people. And now, like, reality sets in, I graduate college, and I'm like, boom, you can't really make stuff by yourself because, like, it costs money. You need to make money, and money is what rules the world. But yeah, so I was feeling quite unfulfilled, uninspired. And then I was reflecting on my film that I made, and I was like, okay, I also feel like I've made bad decisions in that regard, because I made a film that I'm not really proud of anymore because it doesn't fulfill what I believe in anymore. Like, it was like a fleeting thought, fleeting emotion that I captured and put into a film in hopes to be seen. And now that it's been freaking 2 years since I started writing it, like, I'm not there anymore, and I've grown past that, which is a beautiful thing, but also a really sad thing, because I spent my freaking 2 years like working on this, and now like I'm done with it, and I'm feeling incredibly unfulfilled by it and uninspired by it. And yeah, that sucks. But I talked about that in my last video, and where in that last video I didn't really have any resolve for it. Kind of was like, and that's it. I guess I'm kind of just working on it. Excuse me for the yawns. But yeah, so I was on my walk, and I just was spiraling, and just like, am I really like even built for this? Because I have zero passion for what I'm doing right now. Zero like drive to continue grinding. Like, I don't want any part of the like business side of film right now, like making connections and like growing connections and all that BS, and like even like working for other people right now, like I do not care to do, like, just because it's like, oh, I'm just doing this for money, like whatever, because it's not exciting anymore. And it's been exciting before, like I've been excited, but then there's always like an itch there. I was reflecting more, I was like, okay, like this sucks, I'm in quite a predicament right now. Quite an existential one too, because I've kind of like targeted my whole life around this thing, and now I'm like, okay, but like I don't care about it being film. I'm just like, I'm uninspired. And I was thinking on that same walk, I was like, okay, but like also now that I'm feeling this way, I'm almost done with my spiral. I'm still spiraling at this point on my walk and on my day because of these thoughts. I'm spiraling downward. This is where it gets bad. I start feeling incredibly lonely because of it. And I kind of start reflecting. I'm like, okay, 90% of the people in my immediate circle, you know, everyone that I live in a house with, I live in a house of 8 guys. Actually, not everyone, but like half of them are like insanely passionate about film and like go-getters, and like we're gonna like make this work, and we're gonna keep working and keep working on stuff, and they just like love it, and they like never get burnt out somehow. What the fuck? And like so many other people in my life are like so much like that. Like a lot of the people I hang out with are just like obsessed with this, and they will like never stop, and they never get burnt out. And obviously it's not everyone. Like I talk to people who aren't as like, or just like more normal about it all the time, like, but it's the people that like are so passionate about it that outweigh the feelings, and it just makes me feel like, oh, like I'm like the only person that kind of like doesn't care about this thing anymore right now. And that sucks, because like that just makes me feel lonely. And on my walk, I was walking alone, which I do 95% of the time, and I've never felt lonely. I love my walk. I love walking alone. I love alone time because it makes me feel strong. It makes me feel like I'm doing something for myself, especially in, like on a walk. It's like it's the most peaceful time of day. And I just started feeling so lonely. And I'm not a lonely person. I'm not a person that like gets lonely very often. I mean, I'm around people all the time, which probably helps with that. But also, like, even in times that I'm not around people all the time, like, I don't find myself feeling lonely. Even if I'm like alone, like, I kind of just feel myself like a lack of a person. But then I'm like, okay, this is fine. Like, I kind of needed some time alone. Like, I don't feel lonely often, but that day I was feeling so lonely. And it's because of this spiral. And I pulled out my phone, and I was like, I need to call someone. I need to like talk to someone and make it feel like I'm not like completely alone right now. And I pulled out my phone, and I started scrolling through my contacts of my like phone app, like the calling app, phone app. It's so ridiculous that it's called the phone app and it's just on my phone, but you know, the app where you call people and it has your like history. Pulled that out, started scrolling on who was in there, and I literally gaslit myself into believing nobody on that list wanted to talk to me, wanted to hear from me, wanted to hear what I was thinking about. I was like, I can't think of a single friend right now that is either available or like, I don't know, yeah, if they're, free to talk right now, or like it would be an inconvenience, or even like, can't think of a single person that would want to talk to me about this, or like, see people be like, well, like, it's like an evening, like, let me just like have my evening. I even like scrolled past my dad and was like, nah, he wouldn't want to hear from me right now, like, about this. My dad literally like would love to have heard from me about anything. Like, it's my dad. But I was just gaslighting myself into believing like nobody wants to hear from me, and I am completely alone, and I have no one that relates to me, and no one that talks to me, or that I can talk to about this. And I started feeling incredibly alone. And then on the same walk, this is like 10 minutes later, I was like, okay, well, say all of this stuff that I'm saying right now is true. I kind of started becoming more rational. I was like, okay, say everything I was going through or like thinking was true. Say I actually, like, say my film that I made, like, literally nobody likes it. Say that's the truth, Like, literally, like, everyone thinks it's stupid and weird and too depressing and, like, not a true representation of who I am. Say everyone thinks that, which is not, like, gonna be true, because people like it already. But, like, say that's true, and say I'm, I'm working all these freelance jobs, and they don't really lead to anything, and I just kind of use them to get a paycheck, and they kind of just, like, whatever, but they don't lead to any, like, real opportunity to make something myself and be creative. Say that's the case too. And say, again, I'm just, like, rationalizing all these things. Say again, like, I don't remember where I was just going with that. But anyways, I was just, like, trying to rationalize all these things and trying to make me think, okay, like, if I'm truly, actually, completely unfulfilled, completely uninspired by everything, and all of these things are true, what should I do? Like, what is one thing, or one or two things that I can do that would basically solve this problem? And I started thinking about, okay, like, what fulfills me? What fulfills me and makes me feel good creatively and inspires me, and also, like, what makes me feel less lonely? I started taking it one thing at a time. I was like, okay, tomorrow, this is for the lonely thing. I was like, tomorrow, I'm going to go on a walk with someone. I'm not going to do this walk alone, and I'm going to talk to someone. And I did that. I went on a walk with my friend John, and I got to talk to him about this. And I was like, okay, what fulfills me? What is something that is nothing? There's nothing like what I'm doing. Like, just these stupid editing for other people projects that I'm working on. What is something, like, if that's unfulfilling, what could be fulfilling? And I was like, okay, I know I'm an artist. I know I like making art. But this quote unquote art that I'm making, and the way that I'm making it, which is editing right now, super unfulfilling, uninspiring. Okay, let's not edit something. And I thought about it, I was like, okay, well, I can make physical art, I can make painting. That feels pretty opposite of opposite of what I've been doing. Feels completely different realm. Feels like freedom to do something and mess up and be fine with it, and lower pressure, but also still creative, and like could come up with a good outcome from it. It's like, okay, like maybe I'll try to make a painting or make a piece of physical art. It's like, that's one solution. I was like, okay. And then the other solution, I was like, okay. I was thinking towards film itself. I was like, I'm definitely not like completely anti-film forever. I may be burnt out of it entirely right now, but I'm like, why am I burnt out of it? It's because I'm editing stuff that I don't care about. And it's because I made something that I'm not sure has truth in it. Truth that will last forever. I made something that was a fleeting thought and an emotion, but it doesn't have like truth. And truth to me is limited. There's not that much in life that can be considered I mean, there's a lot. There's like, so what I think of truth is like something of God's truth. Something that is so inherent to God's nature and design that it's almost like we have to like analyze life and learn like what God has made true, and then that's the truth that we can choose to make a film about or a piece of art about, because otherwise I feel like it just ages weird and it doesn't feel as important long term, because I feel like I've made a film that isn't gonna last forever. It's gonna be about this one moment, and it's not gonna leave people with something to take away. But I was like, what can I do if I'm unfulfilled by what I've made and I'm unhappy with it? Okay, what if I try to make another thing? What if I try to direct another film that has more truth in it, that has, that has inherent truth about life and about God. And this is not me saying I'm about to make a Christian film, because I'm kind of anti-Christian film. But I think there's something really important to make something that's encouraging to me right now. Something that's more awe-inspiring instead of pessimistic. And so I was like, okay, like, what if I do that? And then for the rest of that walk, this is all happening in my head, by the way. For the rest of that walk that evening, I started like writing stuff in my notes app about a new film idea. And I listened to this same artist, the drone artist, Lutz Jennings, shout out, Alaskan Tapes project, side project. I was listening to this music and I was like just trying to be like writing, and I did that and it was good, and I wrote towards another film idea, and I haven't done that in a long time, or I have done that but like I did something that isn't inherently like sad for the first time in a long time. I kind of just was like writing. But yeah, I feel like I did do a good job that day of turning around what was like super negative in my mind, and I was like spiraling out of control, and I used it, and I was like, literally my film, I was like, what if I make a film about this fleeting thought and emotion like this feeling of like feeling I made something dark and wrong and like pessimistic, and wanting to make something lighter. Like, what if I made a film about that transition? I feel like that's unique, so I'm gonna try to make something like that. I've been writing, might make it this summer if I can find the crew or something. But yeah, that was my spiral of the week. It ended on a higher note. I went on a walk with a friend the next day and got to talk through it, which was good. I don't think I've done the best job of explaining it, because it really was like an internal spiral. But yeah, that was my predicament from this week. And I actually tried to make a video explaining that already, and I did a bad job, but this one I think worked. So that's good. But yeah. Anyways, hope nobody watched this, but if anyone's listening to this moment right now, whether you watch the whole thing or not, I hope you have a good day today, tomorrow, and yeah, whatever that thing you're going through is, I hope it gets better. And remember, tomorrow will be a new day, and you'll hear the birds in the morning, and you can just make it a new day with new opportunities. Feel the sun. Don't stay in something painful forever. It's not worth it. But yeah, I'm also like 2 minutes from work, so I gotta go. But yeah.